it's the Dark Fae, and I'm kind of starting my YouTube channel again. I'll probably do like an intro vid of like what I want to do with it, maybe a little later, even though it should come first. But I wanted to share first my like K-pop week with Monsta X and KCON while it's still fresh in my mind. So here goes. So on August 10th, Monsta X was on their final concert for their world tour in LA, and I was able to go. I actually was able to get general admission high touch tickets because even though they were like sold out at the time, but my friend and I, it was kind of funny. We were like talking about it and then just kind of like spamming the AXS or like Powerhouse website, because sometimes the tickets would get like added into our cart, but then like it'd be like, oh, they're sold out. But my friend actually got it to work one time, and so the checkout worked and it was really awesome, and I got a head touch. So Saturday, what happened? The whole concert, like the one thing that wasn't great was like the concert was not very organized. Like lineup started at 10 a.m. to get like the wristbands. Oh. My house is very near like a public transportation line, so it's kind of loud, and so I'm gonna have to pause every now and then. But anyways, lineup started at like 10 a.m. To get our wristbands. That was fine. It was just a long line. It took a while. And all the wristbands are numbered. But then for high touch, they had us go into like another line to get the high touch wristband. And they told us like right after we got our general admission, it's like, oh, now you go into this line for high touch. But the problem was that like the ultimate VIPs were in front of us, and like they didn't start getting their wristbands till like after like 12:30 maybe. And so because they had to get all of their wristbands before high touch did. But what they didn't tell us was that like we could just come back later, like by whenever the ultimate VIPs were finished, and then just come back when there was no people really at like 3 o'clock or something. So that was kind of sucky that we wasted some time like waiting in line for no reason. And then when we actually had to line up to get into the concert for general admission, like everyone had like a wristband and they had numbers on it, and they're like, oh, we'll be back at this place at like 4:30 to line up. And the way that they lined it up was by calling out numbers. So it was like 100, 150, 200s. And so like people would kind of just like very slowly file in. And of course not everyone is there at this like that time. So like people would be like squeezing into the line and there wasn't enough space like afterwards, and it was just kind of a mess. But apart from that, the Monsta X concert was amazing. I'm actually not gonna spend like too much time on the Monsta X concert, just because if I start talking about Monsta X, I'll never stop talking about them, because I kind of stand them a little too much. Kihyun is my like ultimate bias in like all of K-pop, so yeah, Monsta X is kind of just my thing. I don't know if you can see my necklace. It's like a Monsta X necklace, and I have like a Monsta X ring too. But the concert was amazing. They had such good stages, and this was kind of like my first like K-pop concert or a concert in general where it was just like the one artist that I was there to see. They were so good. They're so good. Like their dancing and like this live performance, so amazing. I might insert some footage that I shot somewhere, maybe here. And if I do, please excuse the camera work. It's really hard to keep your phone steady when you're dancing and screaming, which I certainly was.
잃어버린 한 너의 차가차가 뻑뻑뻑이 뻑뻑이 뻑뻑 너가 버리게 덮을 주저없이 내가 살아있어 너한테 모시고 자꾸 네가 너 이제는 그려 언제 넌 내가
LA, you guys having fun? We miss you guys so much.
콜라 우리끼리 너랑 분위기 점점 달라졌어. 진짜 죽을 거야. Alligator. 난 포장해서 나의 바이로 작정하면 절대 놓지 않아 엘레기를 둘이 빡 뛰기만 가는 가이수 지우려 한데 지우려 한데 나 지쳐도 지치려 한데 약해 걱정 마 우리 복잡한 감정 속에 항상 빠져 비우는 때니까 나를 부르기다가 너를 부르기다가 어떻게 다 머릿속에 잠긴 것처럼 헤어날 수 없이 벌써 빠져버리게 나를 부르기다가 너를 부르기다가 네 모든 게 내 뜻대로 다 이루어져 찾지는 절대 놓지 않아 Alligator
So, yeah, but there were definitely some really good stages. Like, honestly, like, all of their stages were good, but they even had, like, special stages that weren't, like, just songs from the album. So, like, Shonu and Wonho had, like, a special stage, and then Juhan and IM had theirs, and, like, Juhan did, like, a special thing where he was, like, on the drums, which was really cool. And then Hyungwon, Minhyuk, and Kihyun did one, too. And it was just so good. And then like during intermissions, like it wasn't like it was boring because they had like prepared these like little video segments of like a concept they had recorded kind of, and so that was super charming and adorable too. Yeah, but overall it was just so good. Like the one part I was really sad about was that Kihyun apparently like fractured a rib somehow. Like the day before or something. He was having like chest pains and they took him to the hospital and they found out it was actually like a rib fracture, and he still came out and like sang and performed, mostly sitting. He didn't like do all out dance or anything, so it's not to like aggravate it, of course, but it was very touching. It's very sweet of him to do so. And then afterwards, after the concert, we lined up for High Touch, which was again kind of disorganized just because they didn't really have a way to line us up, and they're like, oh, make a line yourselves, and we're like, well, that's not happening with 500 people. So they finally like sat us down in like the stands and took us up like row by row. And for the High Touch, it was over really fast because they don't allow any photography or filming, like not even with your phone, and you kind of just like run through and high five all of them. I remember Shona was first, and then I think it was Juhan, and then IM, and then Wonho, and then Hyungwon, and then Minhyuk. Well, Minhyuk wasn't last. Minhyuk I think was after IM, but Kihyun wasn't there, which I was kind of sad because old bias. But obviously he had just performed after having a rib fracture, so it's not like I can be that upset. So one day we'll get to High Touch or meet Kihyun, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so the Monsta concert was flippin' amazing. It was so good. It was like non-stop like happiness, honestly, for the entire 3 hours. It was 3 hours long. And one thing I really enjoy about like K-pop, I guess, or like I don't know how to describe, I guess, like K-pop, it's just like their like the love that they feel from the community is just very sweet. Because during like between like stages and stuff, they would come and talk about like their thoughts and like feelings about just like before the concert or just the energy they get from the fans, and they have some really good messages. It's just very sweet. But yeah, Monsta X. I'm really happy I got to see them live, and I hope I get to again. And so that was the previous week. So this past weekend was KCONLA, this was my first time going, and it was also a lot of fun. There weren't like too many groups that I was like super interested in. Like I've heard of pretty much all of them, like From Us 9, Momoland, Mamamoo, ITZY, IZ*ONE, 17. 17 is like the one that I was the most interested in. 17, Stray Kids, did I say that already? I don't know, very, very, and Flying. I've heard of a lot of them, but I don't really like actively listen to a lot of them. But KCON, there's a lot going on. Like if you are into K-pop and you haven't gone before, or like are thinking of going, like hedging on going, I would honestly recommend it. There's a lot to do, and there's a lot of like variety of things to do, whether it's like you're into the artist or you're into the music or you're into like other YouTubers or like people in like the K-pop like scene, or like into fashion or beauty or like even food. There's something to do, or dance, especially dance. Like there's something to do kind of for everyone. And like just looking at the schedule, I was getting like kind of overwhelmed because there were so many things to do, and I couldn't be in like so many places at once. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit of like what I did on like the 2 days that I went. I flew down on Friday and didn't go to the con just because I got to LA like kind of late. So on Saturday, the first panel that I went to was by he's a YouTuber and like singer, Edward Avila. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And with like the Aura, and then their friends, stylists and producer Friday, Jimmy and Mimi. And that was a lot of fun because I wasn't like a giant like follower of theirs, but I do enjoy watching some of Edward's like YouTube videos, so I just kind of went. It was a lot of fun. They were pretty chill. And then on Sunday I saw them perform at the KCON stage, and that was really cool. I actually quite like their music, so I might like check them out more afterwards. But that was a lot of fun. Let's see. And then like Saturday also did some shopping. This is the first thing that I bought at KCON, and I would because it's me. It's a Sumiko Kurashi, Tokatsu, and Ebi Fry no Shippo, or Ebi Shrimp Tail. Because this would be me. This is the first thing I bought. I actually didn't end up buying like too much like K-pop stuff at KCON, just because a lot of their merch was like either very specific, or like from like vendors that it wasn't really like K-pop related. But I did buy a lot from like the K-pop stores in Koreatown. Bought a little too much stuff. But the one thing I did buy a couple albums from KCON, so I will show those. The first one actually that I bought, because I'm kind of collecting Monsta X's albums. Like I bought their Are You There and We Are Here albums like a few months ago when I went to LA again, it was the Korea Times Music Festival, and so then I'm just going around buying. But the first one I bought is this one, which is their Beautiful, the first album, The Clan Part 2.5. So this is what it looks like, and the white balance. But what was actually really cool was when I went to buy this, the lady at the register was like, "Oh, hang on a sec," and she had to she went to go talk with like 3 of her other coworkers, and I was like, what's wrong? Like, why can't I buy my Monsta X album? And then she came back and told me that someone earlier had actually like given them $30 and said that like, oh, this put this towards the next person who buys a Monsta X album, and apparently the next person to buy one was me. So I actually got this like for free, which was really awesome and kind of made my day. I think it's honestly like someone who's just like, hey, I'm gonna do this to like make somebody's day. Well, whoever they are, thank you, and you succeeded. I guess I can open it and show you guys what's inside. Usually K-pop albums, they all kind of have like a photo book and then like pages or like a separate booklet for like the song lyrics and the CD, of course, and then like some photo cards. So this is what it looks like. And so these are, this little pack here is like photos, I believe. And so you can see like there's quite a few. Oh, Kian. It's quite a few. So there's a lot of those, and then I'll just put this over here for now. And then they have some photo cards. So this one, photo cards. This is one hole, showing one hole, and this is like probably like one of the special items probably, but like a message card. This is from Kihyun. So I'm pretty happy about that. And then this is the lyric book. So you can see, and then it has like who wrote and composed and arranged it and all of that. So yeah, there's that. And then the CD is here. So yeah, that's the first album I bought there. I also bought at KCON the Code album, Drama Rama, Hey. So it's like I got Minhyuk, which I'm okay with because I also really like Minhyuk. And this, and oh no, the cards. Where did the card go? Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. And for this one, Juhan. Did I mix up my cards? I'm not sure. Anyway, Juhan and Hyungwon. I got a lot of Hyungwon cards. I don't know why. And this is like a sticker of all of them. Wow, that's not good quality. I haven't like figured out all of my recording stuff yet, but I wanted to do this kind of like as soon as possible while I still have it fresh. So this little booklet has like pictures of Minhyuk, stuff like that. Yeah, and then this is the CD, and then the photo book here. Ooh, this is hard to turn like this. Oh, like the photos. Yeah. So those are 2 albums. I bought more at the K-pop store. I might do like all of the stuff that I bought during KCON in a separate video, just because it's a lot. Like I could show you. A lot of it is beauty stuff too. So like this is like beauty stuff, and then this is beauty stuff. This bag here also has beauty stuff. I actually got like this also for free because the guy who was like at the little, it's kind of like a booth, I guess. This is like for hair stuff. Who was at the booth was like, oh, well, if you don't care about us like sharing your picture, we'll give this to you for free. I'm like, okay, like I don't care if you post a picture of me to Instagram, like sure. So got that for free. And then what else? I also have, this is just like a lip tint, actually 2 lip tints. And then I got like this big bag of stuff, big bag of stuff from the K-pop stores. So let's see, there's a lot in there. So I might make that like a shopping unboxing kind of video. But anyways, back to what happened at KCON. So after shopping, there was also on Saturday the random dance challenge. The random dance challenge that they do every year. This one was hosted by Goto. I'm definitely gonna practice for next year because I didn't really listen to a whole lot of like the popular songs that came out this year, like Momoland's Coco Bebe or Itzy Da Da or stuff like that. I think I jumped in like once for Twice as Fancy, but there's a lot of people. And then I did like a little bit of Shootout, not very well because panic, but I'm also like not that much of a dancer. Like I can if I try to like actually learn the steps, but it doesn't come very naturally to me. But next year I'm gonna practice because it's a lot of fun. And then the con kind of closes around like 5:30 to 6 or so, and on Saturday there weren't really groups that I was super interested in, so I didn't go to the concert that day. But then on Sunday, whole new like mess of stuff. That's kind of like when I went on my little shopping spree. And then also I went to a few panels. I went to a meet and greet for Kevin Wu, who is a former member of UKISS, and he's really sweet. Like he's really nice. He's coming back like doing like a mini tour in the US. He'll be performing actually in LA and San Francisco this coming weekend. So I might go to that and spend a third week in a row at a Kpop concert. Woo, a lot of concerts. And then yeah, he was really like, I wasn't really super into UKISS. I listened to like maybe a couple of their songs, but definitely not what I expected. But he's so nice, and the way he talks is like super calm and like really gentle. But yeah, he's also very good looking in person. He like came down to like say hi to people as we were leaving, and I was like maybe like 2 feet away from him, like. And then after that panel, played some like random games, just like take a break from the con. That was like what was it? It was like a relay dance challenge. And then after that, I went to go see Trophy Cat and Edward and Aura and all of them perform at the KCON stage, and that was really cool. I mentioned earlier, I do like their music actually, so I'm gonna go check them out. And then what happened after that? I didn't do a whole lot after that. So then, concert time. The concert, oh my gosh. Like, oh my goodness. So many people. So much fangirls. So much scream. Like, woo. I'm surprised, like, I didn't lose any hearing from that, because I thought that I had heard, like, fangirls, like, and been a fangirl, like, during Monsta X. But honey, no. Oh my god, people screamed so loudly. It was really awesome though. There were like these bracelets that they gave us that like lit up like in accordance to like the concert and stuff. So it was really cool to see like all of the blinking lights and the stage. And so on Sunday, let's see if I can remember everyone who performed. Stray Kids, this is not the order that they were in, but this is the order I remember them. Stray Kids performed, and Flying from S9, Mamamoo, Very Very, ITZY, and 17. Is that everyone? I think that's everyone. Chungha was supposed to perform on Sunday, but then she had visa issues and couldn't get to come to the con, which is kind of sad. But I was mostly there for 17. I do like listening to some of Mamamoo's songs too. It was a really good stage. It was very well done. We were kind of in like the 200s, so like there was like general admission, then one row, one section of seats, and then another section of seats. That's where we were, so we weren't like that close, but we could still see. It was decent, and they had like the screens, which helped. It was pretty great. I really enjoyed it. Like a little biased, but I really liked 17's stage, especially like they performed see if I remember the order. Hit Hit, which is their new song. Then Good For You, Paksu, clap, and then they ended with Aju Nice, or Very Nice, which is always a fun time. And it's really fun because they kept on playing like the like Aju Nice part like over and over again at the end for the finale. It was like 5 times, like they would like leave and like, oh, come back. So that was a lot of fun. I might again insert footage, and again, sorry for the bad camera work. yeah, it was a long concert. It was like 2.5 hours, I want to say. It was a lot of fun. And I really, just like all of KCON, one of the things I really like about conventions, not even just like KCON, but like any convention really, is that you're just like surrounded by people with the same interests as you. And that's like another reason why I recommend going to KCON if you're into like K-pop. Like, you might not meet like lifelong friends there, which is fine. I know I don't, because I don't talk to people. But it's just a really great experience to like be in like an environment where everyone is like gathered for the same thing, and to like support each other and support the artists, and like it's just really great. Yeah, so that about wraps up my KCON experience and Monsta X experience. My K-pop week, which might continue next week, we'll see. But I think after all the travel, I'm kind of done for a little bit. But anyways, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I guess if you enjoyed, maybe hit like or subscribe. I always feel weird asking that at the end of a video, but I guess it's a thing, right? So yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!